we're back for another food review, and we're in Palm Springs, California. So our first stop was for dinner at El Patio, which is in downtown Palm Springs.
So at El Patio, we sat outside. It had a really nice ambiance. There was a big tree with lanterns in it.
So to start, we had the chips and salsa, which is included with the meal.
Yeah, and the chips were homemade, restaurant-made chips, so they were nice and fresh as well and crispy and a little salty, but nothing terrible and nothing too special.
And then we had the El Patio margarita.
Yeah, this was a nice strong pour. It was nicely balanced, it was tart. It was nothing out of the ordinary good or bad, but it was solid.
So then we had the passion fruit margarita. It was sweet. If you like sweet drinks, this is a good choice. For our first entree, we got the enchiladas verde.
Yeah, this came with a green chili verde sauce, which was really good. It also came with beans, which were really good. However, the chicken in the enchiladas was a little bit on the dry side, and overall it was just a decent entree.
We also got the nachos. It had a lot of good flavor and topping. It's a very large portion. The chicken was well cooked, and it's a good choice.
Definitely, I think we enjoyed the nachos over the enchiladas here. You just get a lot more. We probably could have just been happy with the nachos in general. The chicken on this was really juicy and much better than the enchiladas. But overall, it was just a solid, good option to have. For our second round of drinks, to start with, we had the Blackberry Paloma. This had a really nice flavor. It's unusual to get a blackberry option in this. It didn't have a very strong grapefruit flavor, but it was balanced, so it's a decent option that I would recommend.
And then we also got the pina colada. It was very coconut and lime forward. It was a bit more icy than I preferred. It was nothing notable, but it was just fine. So for lunch the next day, we went to the Peak restaurant. You need to take the Palm Springs aerial tramway to actually get there, and it's at the top of the mountain. If you're looking for a meal with great views, especially of the Coachella Valley, then you'll probably want to eat here.
Yeah, you get great views if it's a clear day, and if it's not a clear day, you get a great view of the cloud covers and the sky. You're really high up, and it's kind of a really nice dining experience. To start with, we had a couple of drinks. I had a Tito's. It was nice, strong pour, not a lot of lime, subtle ginger, but it was pretty good.
And then I had the berry, which was very well balanced, but on the sweeter side. Unusually good.
Yeah, this was by far our favorite drink we had here. It was a really nice option that we highly recommend.
And then we had the seasonal salad. It was fine. It was nothing to rave about. It had butternut squash, which was cold and not roasted, which was a little overpowering. It could have been chopped a bit smaller for my liking, but the dressing was good, a little on the sweeter side.
Yeah, the dressing was a little too sweet for me, but if you like sweet salads, this might be a good choice for you.
And then we also got the pulled pork mac and cheese. It was surprisingly very good. I enjoyed the sweet crispy onions on top. The pasta was cooked perfectly. The sauce had good flavor. The barbecue sauce drizzle wasn't overpowering, and the pulled pork wasn't overpowering either. It was very well-balanced dish and probably one of our favorites.
Yeah, we were really surprised by this. We usually don't go for a pulled pork mac and cheese, and we're really kind of picky about our pulled pork. And we were really surprised by this.
And then we also got their burger.
Yeah, this was fine. It was a little overcooked for what we asked for, but the flavor was fine. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. The fries were supposed to be seasoned and they weren't, but they were nicely cooked and they were great to dip in the mac and cheese sauce. So if you do get the mac and cheese, be sure to get some of these fries. I really enjoyed the cut on these fries. They were interesting and unusual. I just wish they had a little more seasoning on them.
So for dessert, we had the creme brulee. The custard had a nice flavor and consistency.
It wasn't too jello-y and bouncy. It was nice and smooth and creamy. Unfortunately, the caramelized topping or the brulee was weak. It didn't have that crunch and that breakability that Joelle really enjoys.
And it also had a kind of butane taste, which is not the best taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it felt like some of the butane from the torch got ingrained in that crust in the brulee.
And then our last drink, we got a Paloma.
Yeah, this was fine. This was good. Nothing special. Had a nice grapefruit flavor. Unfortunately, it wasn't as good as the Blackberry Paloma we had the day before. That was unusual and really good. But this was fine. It was a good option if you're craving a Paloma at the top of the mountain. I would recommend this, but it wasn't anything special.
And then for our last meal, we went to Farm, which is back in the downtown Palm Springs area. It's great for dinner. We do recommend making a reservation. They are only open certain days of the week. The menu does change weekly, and it is a prefix menu priced per person.
So to start off our drinks, we had the Jalisco Mule. This was really good. It was nice and spicy. I enjoyed the spice. Had a strong pour. It was refreshing. It was unusually really good. And they also had a watermelon ice pop inside that kind of melted and mixed in and changed the flavor over time, which was a nice touch, a little gimmicky, but I really enjoyed this.
And I had the Forget-Me-Not, which was well balanced. It was very easy to drink. It had a lot of fruity notes, which I enjoyed, and it was very good.
The cocktail program here was really interesting. Definitely highly recommend trying anything on there. We enjoyed these drinks a lot, but all the other drinks looked really good as well, and it was hard to choose which we wanted.
Then they start with the bread and butter service. It had a nice compound butter, which was like garlic chive. The baguette was solid. There were Parmesan thins.
I didn't think the Parmesan thins were that good. This is probably the only thing that I was critical of this meal. I thought they were a little stale. They had a weird kind of flavor. It didn't almost taste like Parmesan-y. It was kind of like bitter. So I wasn't a big fan of this.
So then we had the ahi tuna lettuce cup.
Yeah, this had a really nice flavor and consistency. The fish was fresh. The seaweed salad added a nice crunch and texture. The soy reduction added a nice umami flavor with a hint of wasabi. It was just a really nice balanced dish.
And then we also had the burrata and beet salad. The burrata was excellent. The beets were nicely roasted, tomatoes were excellent, missing some acidity like a balsamic reduction though.
Yeah, we just needed a little more acid. Everything else was good. If they had added a little more acid, this would have been perfect.
And then we had the orange salad, which was very light and crisp. It was very refreshing. The citrus was the star of it. The pomegranate seeds were a nice touch, and we liked the hint of the nuts.
Yeah, solid textures overall. Next up, we had the palate cleanser.
It just tasted like lemon sorbet. It's nothing extraordinary.
Yeah,
it was just fine.
Nothing bad, nothing good. A nice palate cleanser. Nothing out of the ordinary. Our last drink was the Folktale Pinot Noir. It was really good. A little cakey, a little cherry, a little red fruit flavor forward, a little currant, slightly tannic finish, and it was really rich and decadent. I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend it if you're going with a beef dish or something that would pair well with the red.
And then we both got the prime rib. It was a little fatty, perfectly cooked on both the medium rare, which Colin had, and I had the medium. The mashed potatoes were very good. The asparagus was crunchy and bright and cooked very well.
Yeah, the horseradish and the jus sauce were both very, very good. All the accompaniments were solid. The mashed potatoes were seasoned perfectly and their consistency was really nice. I thought this was a great entree and a great meat dish, paired perfectly with our Pinot Noir.
And then for dessert, we started with a French press. It was a bit acidic. It was nothing amazing. It was just fine.
Yeah, it had a little bit of acidity, the coffee they gave us, but it was pretty good. To start dessert, we had the pecan pie. The crust was really, really good, but we wish the filling was a little more moist and stuck together a little better. It kind of crumbled apart and was a little dry, but overall, the flavor was really nice.
And then we also had the apple pudding cake. The top was exceptional with the caramelized apple. The pudding was a little bit bland and kind of heavy with the consistency, but the ice cream was good. It was a very good date night spot or just hang out with friends. The drinks and the entrees were the star.
I think the service was really nice and attentive as well, and I do think the price was worth it. I think we highly recommend this. It's definitely a must try when you go and visit Palm Springs. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell to find out when we have new videos coming out. And thanks for watching.